This time on Niagara Test Drive, we're behind the wheel of a 2014 Honda CR-V EXL from Henley Honda in St. Catharines. For nearly 20 years, Honda has set the standard for crossover trucks with its popular CR-V. Bigger than a wagon, but not big enough to be considered an SUV, crossovers are popular in Canada. In 2013, the CR-V was the second highest selling crossover, behind the Ford Escape and just ahead of the Toyota RAV4.
Honda completely redesigned the CR-V in 2012, so not a lot has changed in the past couple of years. That being said, it still remains one of the best looking crossovers on the market and is still one of the top sellers.
It's been in Canada for 15 years, and it's been a trusted name in Canada for all of those years because I think not necessarily for any one thing in particular, but because of what it does in general. It is phenomenal in so many different categories. When you take a look at the overall aspects of what this CR-V does in general, it checks off all the boxes in so many different ways.
The CR-V is powered by a 2.4-liter dual overhead cam iVTEC 4-cylinder engine, producing 185 horsepower at 7,000 RPM. That's plenty of power for a vehicle this size. Whether you're emerging onto the highway or traveling up steep hills, you never feel like a bigger engine would be necessary. This comes equipped with a 5-speed automatic transmission. Something you might hear me quip about regularly on this show is the lack of a manual transmission option, but that's unfortunately becoming more and more common among all manufacturers. The CR-V comes equipped with an intelligent all-wheel drive system. That means it switches from two-wheel drive to four-wheel drive as necessary. Is all-wheel drive necessary in Niagara at all? Well, different people have different opinions on that.
After a winter like we just had though, where road conditions were terrible a lot of the time, there's certainly an argument to be made for it.
The CR-V has a fuel economy rating of 9.2 liters per 100 kilometers in the city and 6.6 liters per 100 kilometers on the highway. That's only slightly lower than the front-wheel drive model, and there's also an Econ button on the dash that puts the CR-V into economy mode. That lowers the engine performance and other non-essential functions like air conditioning just a little bit to improve fuel economy even more.
Like just about every other Honda I've driven over the past 20 years or so, the interior of this CR-V is very well designed. This is a really comfortable car to drive. There's plenty of room for the driver and certainly lots of room for the passenger. Whether the passengers are sitting in the front seat or the back seat, even if they're fairly tall, they're not going to feel cramped or uncomfortable driving even for long distances in this.
With the 60/40 rear seats folded down, there's plenty of storage space at just over 2,000 liters. Getting those seats down is a breeze thanks to a slick system that only requires the pull of a tab on each side of the vehicle. Another feature you'll get plenty of use out of is the multi-angle rear view camera. There are lots of variations of these on the market, but Honda's version is clear and the on-screen guidelines are easy to see.
So who is the CR-V meant for? Well, families who start with something a little bit smaller, say a Honda Fit or something similar, will find that this is a good next step. Especially if they're not necessarily ready to go up to an SUV or a minivan, this is a good in-between.
The price tag on our CR-V EXL demo came in at $33,490. The 2014 CR-V lineup ranges from the $25,990 LX two-wheel drive model up to the $35,390 touring model.
With the CR-V, you're going to get a car that's got plenty of room for all your stuff, excellent fuel economy, and it actually looks good to drive around in.